But the flesh cannot help the flesh. The only thing that can help it to govern, to take captive the intentions of the flesh, is the Spirit. But the Spirit, Spirit. People think that to walk in the Spirit is to walk in a mystical position on your knees and do a series of things, and I am in the Spirit. No, the Spirit is a knowledge that is used by the mind. The mind feeds on the 14 epistles of Paul, on what is written, identifying who you truly are. The world has never known this and walk in darkness. We look like the butterfly that is born from a worm. First is worm, and then enters a metamorphosis and flies away and becomes another being. Is like the snake that molds his physical body. The time comes. I remember that a few years ago on the fence of my house I saw a snake, and when I took a good look, it was the skin. It molted. The snake left with another body and left its body on top of the fence. Is like the satellite that goes out to the skies and carries a shuttle, which is what drives it. But that shuttle then splits from the satellite continues to the moon, and the shuttle falls into the sea and disappears, sinks into the sea. So we, through the science of grace, have to learn how to divide these two. Naturally, it is not for you to say, now, well, then I will now let my body drift away. No, because what you sow, you reap. Blessed, you are responsible for your actions. You have suffered enough with your own flesh to keep making excuses. You cannot say, it was the bishop, it was the collaborator, it was that my mother, it was that I was born poor, it was that I was born in a slum, it was that my father was like that, it was that my mother was like that. You are absolutely right. But the revelation is that you don't have to stay that way. You have to understand the two sources that are in you, one bitter and one sweet. One is the devil's gender and the other is Christ's gender. Look, even Jesus of Nazareth, in fact, in chapter 7, it talks about these two divisions. But when you read Romans 7, what it tells you is that you already belong to another, to the one who resurrected. Even Christ had to change his body, giving us to understand that one day we will be clothed in another body. For he left Jesus of Nazareth, who, behold, lived in weakness, and put on the risen one, who is all-powerful. And that is your goal, to become like him, because we are already like him in revelation and in knowledge. We are a congregation of Christ, but we are still walking. We are still walking around with a shock on top of us. Remember that product they used to sell that showed a man carrying a shock? We walk around with that body, and it's your responsibility to deal with it. Everyone will carry their own load. It is your responsibility. You can no longer make excuses to live as you please. Blessed, because what you sow, you reap, and you are going to pay for it. But we are giving you the tools so that you don't keep walking like that, so that you get out of depression, so that you get out of that lifestyle that shames you, that lifestyle that tries to lead you to a sinful conscience. When you are no longer a sinner, you are a righteous spirit made perfect. But the body, if you do not handle it well and take it captive to the obedience of Jesus, it brings you guilt, and you think that grace does not work. But grace works with those who allow it to work.